Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We can start now with the FIFA World Cup 2026 Subcommittee, September 15, 2025 meeting. Good afternoon. I'm joined by Deputy Mayor Amber Morley, all the way from Etobicoke, and Deputy Mayor Ozma Malik, all the way from Liberty Village. Welcome. And Councillor Ainsley is greeting us from
Scarborough.
He's a deputy mayor. God, all that Deputy Mayor Ainsley from Morrisville. Thank you, Deputy. Okay, oh, that's an inside
From the
joke.
shores of the west side
They
of
all
Highland
forget
Creek.
Ken. Yeah. Okay, may he rest in peace. Anyways, enough. Good afternoon. My name is Councillor Mike Cole. I'm the chair of the FIFA World Cup 2026 Subcommittee. We have quorum. I am now calling meeting 6 to order. Welcome, everyone. Today's meeting is being held by video conference and in person at City Hall Committee Room 4.
Can we stop for one moment?
Yes, we
We're
can.
just having problems with the recording.
Okay, we're having problems with the recording.
Thank you.
How are things on Moorish Road there?
They're not bad. Not too bad.
Did they name anything else after Ken?
They named a ballpark after him down by Lake Ontario.
Oh, great. He would like that.
Yeah. Did you serve with him on Metro Council?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a real gentleman.
Yep.
Real, one of the founding families of Scarborough, right?
Yep. Yeah. The Moorish store, which was on the stagecoach route on Highway 2 or whatever it was called way back then, that went to Kingston.
That's right. We had a general store, didn't he?
Yep. Right at Meadowvale, and it's at Meadowvale and Old Kingston Road now.
Yeah, I remember his family used to provide goods for people during the Depression when they couldn't afford to buy anything.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could go and get some provisions there at the Moorish store. Yeah, good man, good family.
Yep. It's now the home of the Scarborough Historical Society.
Okay. Recording is fixed or?
Not, Anna, is it? They're fixing it? Okay, we're just waiting for that.
Now, what about more Scarborough history? The mayor there, was it, oh God, I'm thinking Ashton served as his assistant there.
Oh, Frank Faubert.
No, even before Frank. Gus?
Before Frank. Gus Harris?
Yes, okay, there was another Scarborough. Joyce Trimmer,
Yep.
yeah, and Maureen Prinsloo, another famous Scarborough person. Yes.
And did you serve with, on Metro Council, Joe, I forget his last name. He was kind of a stocky guy. This is going to bug me now. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and remember. He ran for mayor too, as well.
Joe. I can't think of him right now.
When were you on Metro Council?
Oh, back in the, I don't know, 80s, 90s, who knows?
Joe Van Court?
Oh, yeah, Joe Faubert, no, Joe,
DeCourt.
DeCourt, yes. Another very, very fine man, yes, Joe DeCourt.
Yep.
And his daughter, right?
Yep. Nicole.
Nicole. And then there was the baker who became a councillor and a JP. Remember the Italian baker that had a bakery, and then he was appointed a justice of the peace.
Oh, are you thinking Altabello?
That's right, Joe Altabello, right? Was it Joe?
Jerry Altabello.
Joe was
Yeah.
the baseball player for the New York Giants or something. That was a different family. That's right.
Yeah.
The baker who became the city councillor.
for the delay. We've got a workaround, so you can proceed.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt the Scarborough history lesson, so we're going to go. Proceed. Nobody cares about Scarborough except a few of us. Okay. Today's meeting is being held by video conference in person at room 4. The meeting also being live streamed online at youtube.com, Toronto City Council Live. Land acknowledgement. Although we may be meeting in different locations today, the committee would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse nations, Inuit and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Members, the city clerk has provided all agenda materials on toronto.ca/council and on the CMP, the clerk's meeting portal. Clerk's IT staff are available to members if you need help with your devices. I also want to remind you to please submit and approve your motions by email. Staff are available at exc@toronto.ca to help with motions. Are there any declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none, we will proceed. Have a motion by Councillor Morley to confirm the minutes of the meeting of June 16, 2025. So moved by Councillor Morley. All in favor? Carried. We have one item on our agenda, and that's FWC 6.1, FIFA World Cup 2026 updates on the Community Benefits Plan, Social Procurement and Workforce Development, Liberty Village and Fort York Neighborhood Plan, Community Activation Plan, FIFA Fan Festival, and Volunteer Program. There is a staff report with a recommendation. Members, do you have any questions of staff? Deputy Mayor Deputy Mayor Malik, you have a question of staff?
We also have the same initials, so sometimes that's confusing too.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Chair. First of all, I want to thank staff for this report. Earlier today, we were in a conversation about our neighborhood level preparations because we know that Liberty Village and Fort York will require detailed preparations as the host communities for the game and the fan festival and the most impacted. Staff along with my office have been very committed to convening that neighborhood planning table, and I'm very grateful for that. Can you just quickly recap for us the shared goals of the neighborhood table and how that is working towards making the World Cup a success?
Okay, so Sharon Bullenbach is going to respond to that question.
There we go. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Sharon, if you could identify yourself and your position.
Yes, I am Sharon Bullenbach. I'm the Executive Director of the FIFA World Cup Secretariat here at the City.
Thank you.
Regarding the question that came forward about the neighborhood preparations and plan for Liberty Village and Fort York, we have, through our leadership table, created a neighborhood planning table, a neighborhood working group that will take on the specifics related to the neighborhoods of Liberty Village and Fort York, who will be most impacted both by their close proximity to the stadium as well as to Fan Festival at Fort York in the Bentway. So that group are working towards a neighborhood plan that specifically addresses those impacts around transportation, waste management, planning and preparations. And I think the key goal is really around making sure that residents are well informed about the plans as they take shape, but also to advise on impacts and ways of moving and working and living in those neighborhoods when the World Cup starts.
There's an element of the table that is also about, ensuring that there is the capability for the communities that are most closely, geographically close to the games and neighbors to them and in the neighborhood, to be able to catch the excitement and the enjoyment of the games, as well as to be able to maximize the opportunity that's there. We have found, in other large-scale events where, neighborhoods are most closely impacted, the Olympics, other big sporting events, that sometimes the folks who are at the epicenter of it actually are not able to maximize the benefit or the enjoyment of that experience. And I appreciate just kind of hearing a little bit more about the focus of the neighborhood table, also about that that experience and that legacy.
So part of that will relate to them having detailed information as plans unfold about timing, scheduling. We've just released our community activation toolkit that also speaks to community celebrations that can happen around, and we'll be supporting the BIAs. We've already had several meetings with the BIAs and some of the other community groups who are interested in creating activations in their neighborhood. So we'll make sure that we support them through the information that's in the community activation toolkit to make sure that they are taking advantage and have the opportunity with all of the expected sort of both residents and visitors that will be in their neighborhood, and certainly around FIFA Fan Festival, of how to take advantage of those opportunities.
Thank you. Just, I guess, switching tacks to community benefits. Can you share a little bit more about how we are tracking progress on the targets that we've set?
Sure, and I may call on my colleagues to assist with that one.
Hi there, Michael Brewer from the Secretariat. All of the targets, we've been working with the vendors on an individual contract by contract basis. And so far, I think the major ones noted in the staff report have been awarded. A couple of those are exceeding the targets that we've established with them, and a couple others we're working with to make sure that we can meet them. And two of the major ones, the Fan Festival and the security guarding contract, are in the final stages of evaluation, and hope to see some really positive workforce development outcomes from those contracts as well.
And so I am excited to see all the work outside of the direct contracts too, to create decent work and employment opportunities, especially for young people in Toronto. Can you share what you've heard from other host cities in the community of practice? And are there things that we are learning that will influence our own practices and approaches to this?
Yeah, we established a community of practice across the 16 host cities, and I think it was 13 of them that were able to attend the first meeting. So it was a bit of an introductory conversation, but heard a couple examples. Atlanta in particular has an initiative where they're waiving business license fees for youth entrepreneurs during the period. So we're going to regroup with that body in a couple months here just to touch base again. But yeah, a lot of enthusiasm from across North America for sure.
Okay. Sure. Councillor Deputy Mayor Morley, question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you. Nice to see you both. And I haven't met you yet officially, but welcome and congratulations in the role. The first question that I had was just around to pull the thread about the youth engagement and the youth opportunities piece. I know there's some really focused work around youth in receipt of Ontario Works, which is cool and exciting to see that happening. But with respect to the workforce development program and the workforce intermediaries that are supported by SCFA, how are we tracking, and are we going to get a report out to like how many young people eventually do get connected into opportunities for employment through FIFA?
Yeah, so the figures that are in the report now, the numbers are still relatively low because a lot of the work's ramping up.
Right.
But we're working really closely with FIFA Canada and others to forecast what the opportunities will be during the tournament time itself. It's definitely a challenge that within the volunteer program, there's an 18 plus requirement. So still trying to identify, we know that there's a lot of enthusiasm in younger folks as well. So how we can connect them into the tournament, whether that's through schools or other channels, is still a work in progress at this stage.
Great. And I know we're just still fairly early in September, but really excited about the Community Activation Toolkit and the work that went into that. I know it did launch at the end of August. I wonder if you could just give us a quick highlight in terms of how that's being received and what kind of pickup we're seeing with the toolkit.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for asking about that. We're very pleased with the toolkit, and we've received a lot of positive feedback. It was distributed widely across a number of different sectors, community groups, across Destination Toronto's network of businesses and organizations as well, soccer community, et cetera. So a wide range in terms of distribution. As I said, we've received positive comments so far. Based on the questions or comments that we're getting, we are tracking a list, and we will come out with sort of a version 2 and some amendments as planning unfolds and we come to learn sort of what people's most asked questions are. We can address some of those in a second version. So we are tracking towards putting out sort of an addendum or some additions to it. I think what we're seeing is there's definite interest across the city widely to host some celebrations, to be part of the World Cup, to really jump on board and be part of the action and celebration. I think what we're hearing is that the toolkit was helpful both for organizations that may want to plan an event, but also for businesses, how they can even theme some of their work, whether it's a restaurant or a hotel or a store, can theme some of their products and services around the World Cup was helpful for them as well. In terms, we're getting a lot of questions about public viewing parties and elements. So we just received last week some more information from FIFA on public viewing. So there'll be a few more details we can add to the next iteration of the toolkit. There's a lot of interest there, and that will really be driven by FIFA and the host broadcaster, who for us is Bell Media and TSN. And so they'll really be driving. There's a portal that will be developed where people can apply online to become a public viewing certified space. And depending on the number of people and whether it's intended for commercial benefit or not, will sort of define some of the parameters.
Great. I'm sure there's everybody in the city is looking on how they can get involved, and I do think this activation toolkit is going to be critically important for those who can't get a ticket or maybe not get to a game, but make sure that the whole city is bringing it to life. So I'll leave it there with my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any further questions? I just have a question. If you could just clarify again what this community activation plan is. Just to go over it again, what is the community activation plan?
Sure. So the toolkit, thank you for the question. The toolkit was really intended to provide, we know that people want to celebrate and be part of the World Cup. We as a secretariat, of course, are going to focus on the actual games themselves and what we're required to deliver. And we also have, plans in place to deliver a FIFA Fan Festival, which is also a requirement of us as a host city. And the FIFA Fan Festival will be at the Bentway in Fort York. So that will be our central kind of hub for all things football. Come to celebrate, come to watch matches, come to enjoy food, come to enjoy cultural programming, be part of the broader sort of football, soccer community. But we want to encourage communities to engage and have the celebrations in their own neighborhoods, whether they be small or large. And we want businesses to jump on board and, as I said, sort of theme their services or products around the World Cup in a way that adheres to brand guidelines, which the toolkit was very clear about following brand guidelines. So the toolkit is intended to be a support for those who want to have community celebrations around the World Cup leading up to and or during, whether they have public viewing, watching matches as an aspect or not. It's an opportunity for people to just know the do's and don'ts of how to host a community celebration. And I will quickly add, if I may, in the toolkit, there was the community support grant that is available through EDC. And I will comment here that there's been quite a bit of interest in the grant, and the deadline has been extended. I believe it was originally September 17th this week, and it has been extended to October 1st. So we're just going out and making sure that people are aware that's been extended, and I think people just need a little bit more time coming out of the summer months to pull their grant applications together. So we're able to provide them with a bit more time.
So these community activation grants, how much money would an organization get that qualifies?
Pat, can I call on you to, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Pat, could you identify yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, Chair. My name is Pat Tolman. I'm the General Manager of Economic Development and Culture for the City of Toronto. Thank you for the question. So to the Chair, the city launched the Community Celebration Support Fund now a couple months ago. As Sharon was just indicating, we have extended the deadline to October 1, and that was in consultation with BIAs, who are among the primary intended applicants to the fund, who indicated that it was difficult to convene their boards over summer and asked for a little bit more time, but we feel that time will be sufficient to get in applications. Currently, there's $1 million that has been internally reallocated from other sources within EDC in 2025 to support. We are negotiating with other funding partners to complement that, but I don't have final confirmation of that. So let's talk about 1 million. We anticipate that there will be a desire to, at the very least, see an event in every ward, and we'll likely see double that many. So at 50, perhaps, recipients, you're looking at a $20,000 median grant. But we won't really be able to give you more concrete figures until the applications are in and analyzed. But we are conditioning the applicants that they should be planning around $25,000 for their event planning.
So would these be dispersed geographically, so we can ensure that there's these activations happening across the city?
To you as Chair, Councillor Cole, yes, the intent was to ensure that people, no matter where they were in the city, had an opportunity to celebrate the games with an intention as well, particularly in looking at the inner suburbs, where people might encounter mobility challenges with the size of the event in getting down to take advantage of FanFest or other matters.
Okay, and so the, you said the BIAs, what other type of organizations might apply for these grants?
So the eligibility criteria, you have to be an established not-for-profit. You have to have a track record in having organized events. And the period, your event has to fall within the 34-day period of the games. And it has to have a relationship to the World Cup.
So if a BIA or a local nonprofit Boys and Girls Club or something decide to have an event, could they also include a viewing of the game, one of the games?
To you as Chair Deputy Mayor Cole, yes, ideally many of these will, so that this city's money goes to events that we anticipate will be large and attract many people. Unfortunately, as Sharon or Michael just indicated, the sequencing of decisions from FIFA did not allow us to, say, make viewing rights a condition of eligibility. So we will take in these applications, support the strongest among them, and follow along as viewing right decisions are made. And as mentioned, we're hoping to complement this fund beyond the original budget announcement of 1 million, and that may allow us to adjust to what we see on the ground by way of viewing right decisions.
Okay, what about, let's say, a commercial entity decided to have a viewing party, you know, in a, I don't know, at Sherway Mall. Okay, they wanted to have a viewing party there. What happens in that case?
to you as chair, that would be where they could apply through the portal. So that's why this information was sort of shared broadly, the toolkit, so that both commercial businesses and not-for-profit organizations and community groups could have access to it. So FIFA will be setting up a portal by which anyone can apply, and you just have to indicate the criteria, your plans. If there's a commercial aspect to it, there definitely will be a license requirement and a fee, of which we do not know the amount yet.
So they would have to pay some fee to
Correct.
screen one of the games, and so they'd have to pay that if they're a commercial entity.
That is correct.
But a nonprofit organization would not be paying that viewing fee, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of different, three different sort of categories. Events that are non-commercial and under 1,000 people are sort of one category, of which there would not be a license fee. Or at least that's what we understand today. The second category would again be non-commercial, but larger than 1,000 people. May have sponsorship attached to it, of which may be in conflict with FIFA partners. So there may be a license fee attached to that. And then, of course, there's the third category, which are commercial entities who are looking at this as a commercial endeavor, and there will be a license fee attached to that.
So for commercial entities to basically make application, those details have not been made final by FIFA yet?
Well, the information that we have was included in the toolkit. So there's the three categories are addressed in the activation toolkit. And there's more information available that we just received last week during our FIFA meeting. So we'll be able to update some of the elements in our next iteration of the toolkit.
Okay, and just some other timeline things. So when will the draw be made so we know which teams are going to be playing in Toronto?
So the draw has now been set. We got that date, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and it's now set for December 5th. And it will be held at the Kennedy Center in Washington. And from the draw, we will know the countries that will be playing here. As well, we will know the match times, which is both elements are very critical information for our next phase of planning as we work around, timing of games in the city and what that means to transportation, the countries that are playing here and what that might mean in terms of neighborhoods and activations in neighborhoods and, people moving from that neighborhood to the stadium and back, et cetera. So there's a number of sort of planning and operations decisions that will cascade out of the information we get from the draw.
So that's December 6th,
December 5th.
5th?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of is there a theme song for the games, a Toronto theme song?
We have our Sonic ID that has been identified and was produced by a local producer. The actual tournament song will be coming out, I think it's early Q1, if I'm not mistaken, in 26, and there actually will be a whole album. So the intent is to have a number of songs and have both, or sorry, not both, apologies, have producers from all three countries involved and working on the songs.
You said 3 countries?
Yeah, the US, Mexico, and Canada.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, so having producers from all three countries take part and collaborate and contribute to both the tournament song and the album.
Okay, and then in terms of the game's mascot, when will they announce the Toronto mascot?
So again, the mascots are being done in a group of 3. So there will be a mascot that is representative of each of the countries, and they will come as a group of 3. And those are being revealed in, I think it's November, early November, so not long from now.
Okay, and then I know you had a portal open for volunteers, and you had quite an astounding response for volunteers. How many people applied to be volunteers?
We did have an astounding response. I think our last number was, what was the number?
Yeah, we're over 200,000 total, of which 65,000 are local and 152,000 were international folks interested in volunteering in Toronto.
That's in Toronto?
Yes.
I mean, those are...
Tournament-wide, there are over 1 million volunteer applications.
So that's astonishing. How many applications for Toronto? Volunteers?
Over 200,000 now.
Wow. And out of that, how many are chosen to be actual FIFA volunteers?
We need 3,000.
So how do you dwindle it down from 200,000 to 3?
So there's a process underway when people submit their applications. They complete an assessment, which starts the screening process. And then in November, our volunteer center will open, and there will be a series of in-person interviews for people that have made it through the assessment process. And so there's a number of steps along the way through the volunteer
Wow,
journey.
that's a lot of work. And the volunteer center is going to be at Humber, down in Etobicoke, right?
Yeah,
By
the Lakeshore campus, yeah.
Yes, so that's going to be the volunteer center. Okay, and wow, so I don't know how you're going to get down from 200,000, but that's good news, but sure.
Just on that, hearing that there's quite a volume of potential candidates coming forward from outside of the city, is one of the criteria looking at prioritizing Torontonians? Just wanted to make sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I
we
mean, it's
want-
still
We want the volunteer pool to reflect the diversity of the city as well, so.
fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of focus being put on that.
Still a big, tall order from 65,000 on down to 3, but good luck.
Okay, anyways, that's all the questions I have. Yes, to speak, Deputy Mayor Morley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And through you, I just want to express my thanks to the team. I know we're really gearing up and getting into sort of implementation execution mode on this, and there's been an incredible amount of work. I'm glad the Deputy Mayor and Chair did call out the incredible demand or interest in terms of volunteering, and we know that Toronto is leading amongst host cities in terms of that interest. So, shout out to us. We love to be number one. But really excited, and I wanted to also acknowledge and express my gratitude to our local councillor here in the area and Deputy Mayor Malik for her real work and focus on the local community, understanding that they will be the epicenter of all of this fun activity going on, but it certainly is going to require big effort in terms of coordinating across all of our ABCs to make sure that we mitigate, potential frustration and concerns, along with ensuring that the fun and the access is there. So I just really want to acknowledge that hyper-local focus and the great work that's going in there. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much. That's all from me, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, and I would like to echo the appreciation from Deputy Mayor Morley. And that clock reminds us every day that we're less than a year to go to the first match. I know everyone is working at full speed and as much capacity as possible to get our World Cup preparations ready for the start of the games, and it's very encouraging to see that overall work to ensure that we're ready to welcome the world is well underway, that the areas of access, transportation, safety, crowd management, economic development and activation, as well as the coordination with FIFA and with our fellow host cities on how we can ensure that we are, being proud to meet our obligations on human rights, on workforce development, on community benefits, and that we're using this as an opportunity to kind of learn and grow in our own capacity as a city to do this well, and that has to be part of the legacy of the game. So you can see all of that laid out here. And there's a lot in this report to be proud of, and I definitely want to reiterate that with the staff and everyone who has been a part of this. And I am particularly heartened to see the work we've put into the workforce development. This is part of that lasting legacy from these games. We talk a lot about the legacy of sport, And to put that focus on the legacy in our communities is really a powerful opportunity, seeing people hired, getting trained, and employers committing to doing more of that is how we build that long-lasting change, and also how we strengthen so many of the efforts and the structures that we have laid out in the city, in order to be able to receive this opportunity. And of course, there's still a lot of work to be done to prepare our city, and particularly, feel very committed to my local neighborhoods to show Toronto off to the world on this incredible stage, and also to be able to celebrate and enjoy the city in a brand new way ourselves as well. And as the local councillor for where the games are going to be taking place in the stadium, where Fan Fest will be, and where so much of the activity around the FIFA World Cup is happening, I'm very mindful of the impact of the games and where it will be most felt around the stadium and the Fan Fest venues. And I really want to thank city staff for responding to my motion at council and coming together under the World Cup neighborhood planning table with the goal of having clarity around that transportation, around event management, public engagement, so that local communities can be well prepared for the games, and that we use this incredible momentum of the FIFA World Cup to get the needed improvements that that will, be such a boon for the neighborhood for a long time to come. Some of them are things like sidewalks, right, and beautiful public realm, and others are, making sure that that public transit, that art and installation, that businesses and community groups are able to also showcase how they are bringing that life, that energy, that showcase of arts and culture in the area to what we do as a place that hosts big things like this one, and to show that what is possible. I'm really excited about our continued celebrations for each milestone and the work together. And again, thank you to everyone for the incredible efforts. What is it now, 220 odd some days to go. We'll go out, take a peek afterwards just to get it right, but thank you all.
Yes, very well said, Deputy Mayor Malik and Deputy Mayor Morley. It's just daunting to think the amount of work that's has gone into this already by staff and secretariat and the private sector people, the champions table. I mean, we're still raising money, and we're hoping that people in the greater community will remember that we are still challenged with raising, I think we have to raise over $30 million, right, to help offset some of the costs. So that's work that is not easy, that's going on. And also the work to be done to ensure that BMO Field has got the increased seating capacity. That work alone is daunting, and especially when that field is still being used by the Argos and Toronto FC. And then we've got the legacy 10 community pitches that are being built across the city. And then Centennial, the work at Centennial, which is the practice pitch, right? So again, there's nonstop meetings. I don't know how you do all these meetings. I mean, we're just a part of it, but it is incredible work that's been done by economic development, Pat Tobin's team, and everybody at City Hall that's involved in this. So it is a huge undertaking, a huge undertaking. And what we see here is the tip of the iceberg, I think. So, and a continued good luck, continued good work, and let's just keep moving towards that frightening 200 days that's coming upon us.
Just adopting the item.
Okay, moved by Councillor Deputy Mayor Morley, a motion to adopt the item. All in favor? Carried. Any other items of business, new business, et cetera? Being none, thank you, everybody. That's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And thank you, Deputy Mayor From Scarborough, Councillor Ainsley, thank you. Keep Scarborough safe.
Whoop, whoop.